Hello, in this tutorial I will show you how you can write custom actions. The actions extend from the action base class here and has some methods that you can override. You can override on start, on end, on sequence start and on sequence end, and you should override the on update and return an action status. Action status can be running, failure or success. If an action fails, then the coming actions or the actions at the bottom will not be executed. So for example, if reduce stack fails, then cooldown and wait will not be executed. If the reduced stack is in returns action status running, then cooldown and wait will only be executed when reduced stack finished. So it runs in a sequence here. The same for the trigger actions here. And yeah, that's basically what you need to know. And we can start creating a custom action. So let's create a new C# script. Call it custom action. Open it in Visual Studio. Add a namespace. Extend from action. Implement the abstract method and return an action status. I'm going to return success. You can define variables like float, int, and the special variable is the target. So I'm going, or basically the target type. Serialized field is to show it up in the inspector or in the editor. And here you have option to define player or self. So basically where this action should be operated on player or on the trigger. And the inventory system actions, so basically on the items, here you can only use the player because the item does not have any trigger. So I'm going to define player as default. To get the game object for this target, you can override the onStart method. Public override onStart. Let's define the variable private game object target. And grab the target from get target and enter this.mTarget. So this will basically return the target. As you can see, the get target method, if it's the player, then we grab the game object from player info. So this is the player game object. If it's not the target, if it's the self, then we will grab the game object. And this is set in initialize, and basically when the trigger starts, we call this method and enter self or player info into this action. And now you can operate on the target. So if it's the player, you can grab any component of it. Let's say you want to change the, I don't know, speed multiplier here on the third person controller. That's up to you what you do here. So I'm going to private third person controller, player controller. Of course it doesn't find it, so I'm going to select the triggers assembly, add a new one here, reference to the third person controller assembly here, this one, apply, and now it finds it. And then you can operate on the controller. So player dot, let's say we want to change the speed multiplier to and here we set it to our variable, this dot speed multiplier, hit save. We need to assign this player controller. I'm going to do that here on start. So this dot player controller equals to target dot get component third person controller, and that's it. So it's assigned now. Okay, and for testing I will be just using the health potion. So let's say I don't want to invoke it. Add. Here we go. Here we have our custom action, but I want to have it in a category. So we should also use system serializable, and I'm going to add component menu where you can add a custom category. So custom actions, custom action. This is the category and the menu, and this is the action name. Let's hit save. And now we have a category custom actions where we can enter and add our custom action to this health potion, for example. Let's move this one up. Move up, and add the speed multiplier to 2. And I'm going also to add one more and set the speed multiplier to 1 again. And I'm going to wait for, let's say, 5 seconds. And cooldown of 5 seconds for this action. So when we use the health potion now, basically it will set the multiplier to 2, speed multiplier to 2, then reduce the stack, cool down, wait for 5 seconds, and set the speed multiplier back to 1. Let's see. So when I hit 4 now, right now I'm just walking. When I hit 4, then I'm running. Because the speed multiplier is set to 5 and then it resets back to 1. I don't press the running button here. Right now I'm pressing it, so the player runs. But if I use the health potion, I don't need to use this the running tab, so the player can run by himself. And then when the 5 seconds is over, the speed multiplier is set back to 1.